Good evening and welcome to another half hour of spoiler-filled radio.
Though we're really not that much worse than just reading your Twitter feed.
Yeah, but we're a lot more entertaining. Tonight we'll take a look at Shinkai's new movie, the trajectory of Oreimo, Gargantia's monster plot twist, and much more in this edition of On the Clock. I'm Akira, this is Kevo, and we're clocking in with 5 good minutes on Makoto Shinkai, the man, the legend.
Okay.
So, Shinkai, his new movie's out. What do you think?
Well, Kotonoha no Niwa, I recommend that if you like Shinkai or if you don't like Shinkai, to just watch the show, to watch the movie. I think it's good, accessible introduction to Shinkai's work, and it is easily his most beautiful film. And with Shinkai is, a lot of his gimmick is that his films look really pretty, even if some people claim that they don't have a lot of substance. And I think Kotonoha no Niwa definitely harps on that element of Shinkai's art direction.
Yeah, I think that for longtime viewers of Shinkai, though, I think they're going to be a little disappointed that he doesn't have many new tricks up his sleeve.
Okay.
I think, but at the same time, the film is absolutely beautiful. I literally thought I was looking at live action
Absolutely.
for the first 3 to 5 seconds of it, which is pretty mind blowing actually. So I definitely recommend that you give the film a look. But I definitely found it also. It was different though. It was different from his other movies, wasn't it?
Absolutely. I think this is more closer though to 5 centimeters per second and Place Promised than Children Who Hoshi no Kodomo. Just because like it's out of that fantasy element
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
And I like this because I just didn't think that Hoshikoto was really good.
I thought it was very different from his other films. I appreciated that he was doing something different with it. I don't know how I feel about the fact that he's back to this
I
kind of
like
tired
it.
formula.
As close. See, here's my theory with Shinkai is the closer he is to 5 centimeters per second, the happier I am, because and I've made this observation before. People who like Shinkai and his style love 5 centimeters per second. People who don't like Hoshikodomo because it's just him being different. It kind of like. I just felt it wasn't a good fit for his style.
Okay, no. But I really don't think that's true. Like, I don't
Okay.
want to see him making the same movie over and over again.
Uh-huh.
Because if you watch Shinkai as much as I do, so just to preface this, I've watched 5 centimeters per second probably 15 to 20 times
Yeah,
by now.
me too, yeah.
But like, I really don't want him to make another 5 centimeters per second because I've already seen 5 centimeters per second, and nothing he makes in that vein will ever be as good as 5 centimeters per second. Like maybe visually, but certainly not thematically. And I like the fact that Kotonoha no Niwa tries to get away from 5 centimeters per second. It leaves it a little more open ended. It's
Right.
it's a little more encouraging. I dislike that he's still harping on this love across distance theme that he seems to love so much. I think it's overdone. I think every single one of his movies have been about love across distance, and I would really like to see him, apply his considerable skills to something else.
Okay. I mean, for me personally, Hoshi no Kodomo was just a huge disappointment for me because 5 centimeters per second was my favorite Shinkai movie, hands down.
That's
And
so funny because, like, even though it was my favorite Shinkai, I had lots of problems with it. Like, it's a good movie. It's one of my favorite movies,
yeah,
but there's still, lots of problems. And I think that one of the biggest problems with 5 centimeters per second is the fact that there's a lot of monologues.
yeah.
Shit. Like half the movie is just spent with this guy talking to himself, and that's sort of the problem that I had with this movie as well. Is there's too much telling and not enough showing, I think. And like, sure, you can say Shinkai loves understatement. He will,
Right.
blah blah blah. But like, honestly, I don't fucking know. Like, it's not.
I think with the Shinkai,
It's overdone. It's overdone.
I think with Shinkai, I think he's better off doing that. Talking and then pretty pictures. I mean, doesn't that remind you a lot of how Shimbo did Bakemonogatari? Like, it's talking pictures, and he just uses that art direction and Temon's music and all that stuff, and it kind of creates this narrative.
So
And I
first
thought
of all,
that was really effective.
so first of all, Tenmon didn't do the music for this movie,
No,
which
no,
kind of
that's
surprised me.
I,
Well,
yeah,
but
I,
yeah,
I
but the
did
other thing
mention
is,
that,
the other thing is, I don't know. I don't agree with that because I think that he could do so much more with his art direction, and I don't want to just see people talking over pretty pictures. Like, I'm not watching a fucking travelogue, right? Like, this is a romance. Right? So I think that there should be a lot more showing. Like, I want to see characters interacting more as opposed to one character just telling me how he feels about the other character. And there are only two fucking characters in this movie, so it shouldn't be that difficult.
yeah. Okay.
But I mean, honestly, the art direction was really great. I really liked the theme of silence. Like, I liked that the movie was really quiet. I liked that it was set in like the one large green space in Tokyo.
Yep.
Shinjuku-gyoen. If you haven't been, you should definitely go. It's beautiful there. Although now I'm sure on rainy days it's gonna be filled with all kinds of gross otaku trying to.
But no, we can both agree that this anime is absolutely beautiful.
Well,
Carving
sure,
in
of course.
45 minutes though, kind of short, but I think I don't think it overstays its welcome.
Oh, perfect. I think
yeah,
it
I
was.
think it's
I think it was
perfect,
perfect. People are like, ah, like there should have been more exposition. Blah
It's
blah
like, I don't
blah.
want more
Nah.
exposition. It was starting to get boring. You
No,
know?
I actually think that the reason why you thought it was boring was because there wasn't anything going on. Like Hoshino Kodomo was a lot more interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. See, because with me, Hoshino Kodomo was like almost a cheap Miyazaki film imitation. You know,
But it was like-
that's just
it was
didn't
like-
click for me.
Okay, maybe, but I thought it was like much better than a Miyazaki movie in terms of the art direction, and certainly it was a little cheap in its themes. It's very Shinkai, the whole love across death.
Just so many
blah, blah, blah.
motifs everywhere. You know.
Oh, I mean, yeah, but honestly, I don't know. This movie gets a 7 out of 10 for me. It's just not. It wasn't very impressive. I wasn't blown away by it. I felt nice after watching it, but eh.
6 out of 10. I think it's a very accessible first Shinkai Makoto film, no matter what you're into. So.
All right, moving on.
All right. So, my little sister can't be this cock blocking. Akira, why don't you give me your impressions on what Orihimo is doing this season, or in the last few episodes?
I actually know how this thing ends,
Okay.
and do you care if I spoil it for you? Because I don't care if I spoil it for anyone who's watching.
Okay. Well. Okay. Let's just talk about the show.
I'm kidding.
Like where the show is heading.
No,
right
I mean,
now.
look, okay, I have no fucking idea what the show is trying to do, honestly. I don't know how they're gonna get from the point we're at in the show to wherever the fuck it's going. I don't understand. Yeah, who breaks up with their girlfriend because their little sister? Who does that?
The show's plot is definitely getting. I feel like it's getting a little chaotic.
It's demented. It's
yeah.
more than chaotic. It's demented. I think that the biggest issue with Orihimo, and I've said this again and again, is that there's no one in the show who I really really enjoy watching. Like Kiruno's an ingrate. Kuroneko's a loveless cunt. Ayase is crazy.
Ayase's hilarious though.
Manami is Manami. And I don't know, Saori's great, but she's like gonna be a minor character forever, so it doesn't really matter. But like seriously, everyone is getting NTR'd at once.
Right,
This is something
right.
that's actually happening in the show right now, and I just don't understand. I just don't get it.
I think as a comedy, the show functions pretty decently. At least all the episodes are kind of funny.
Oh, Ayase is hilarious.
Yeah, but like,
Ayase's hilarious.
when it comes to the plot, maybe we're just doing it wrong. Maybe we're just neckbeards that are watching Orihimo for plot. But it's like I just don't really know how to predict where the show is going to go. By the way, the highlight of the episode is Yukari Tamura claiming that she's a better singer than Claris.
But she like is.
Yeah, that's the.
But
call.
she also isn't. I mean, she definitely isn't, to be honest. But I actually I didn't even get that far. I actually got to the Ita bike, and I was like, oh, this is
No, that
great.
was past the Ita bike.
I know.
No, that was before the Ita bike. Sorry.
I mean,
the
I
Ita
don't know.
bike was
I just-
amazing too. Oh man, everything was just so funny. Like,
Everything was
Kyosuke
great,
crashing, yeah.
except for all the parts where I actually really like this. Actually, no, this episode was great because Kirino was actually like nice
Yeah.
for once. That was kind of fun. Anyways, moving on. Oh, oh man. Did we see this coming from Urobuchi?
Well,
Did we
okay,
see-
okay. The fact that spoiler, the Hideas are people is as predictable as the plot twist in Mars of Motherfucking Destruction. Okay, like yeah, you're probably gonna see that. Urobuchi Gen does not make just make straightforward antagonists. So I'm not too surprised that this happened. Did I see this coming from the first episode? Probably not.
No, but I'm not surprised.
Yeah.
Do we remember the Monica twist?
Exactly.
Did we all forget about that? Like
Do you
that
remember the
was-
psychopath
that was
twist? I
some
mean,
crazy shit.
yeah, it's like
That was some crazy shit too, right? But like, I don't know. I think that
you're not
I
going to
think
see
it's good.
ambiguous antagonists from Butch Gen. So this, I am kind of it is nice that I kind of see Gargantia going somewhere. The show's definitely starting to improve a little bit. I think.
yeah,
I kind of
it definitely slowed down for a little bit down,
Yeah.
like around episode 6 or so when we
Yeah,
had the
it's like,
belly
I don't
dancing and
fucking
shit.
care about you
And I was
guys
like,
just rowing boats.
I was like, okay, like let's be honest,
Right.
like they're not gonna fuck, like it's not gonna end up that way. Like this is not what the show is about.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't know, they might fuck. Knowing Urobuchi again, I don't know what that guy's thinking all the time. But seriously, this is kind of genius actually, because they look so different from people that you would have never thought that this was going to happen.
Right.
Like that's not the plot twist I expected, but now it's there. I'm like, like you motherfucker, you would, you would.
Yeah, yeah. I think I kind of didn't get why this show was so highly regarded the past few episodes, especially in APR. But now that I kind of see that the show is kind of getting into gear, I think Gargantia is definitely getting a lot better. And I'm finally glad that, it's about fucking time that the plot came into here, because I was starting to get bored of people rowing boats all over the place.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. Anyways.
All right, moving on, we have a new feature called the Hit List, and that's where we're just going to run down a series of topics for 1 minute each. And we're going to go ahead and start with YAMAKAN making an idol anime.
Yo, so YAMAKAN is teaming up with his old crew, the scriptwriter from Lucky Star and the music director for Lucky Star, and of course he was the director of Lucky Star for a little bit. The three of them are making an idol anime called Wake Up Girls, and I really like this. I really fucking like this.
Kosaka Sataro making music for an idol anime. Oh, that's good. That's good.
But I mean, he did Idolmaster, so
exactly,
why not?
Exactly.
Right. And the coolest thing about this is the 7 girls who you see pictured there. They're not going to be voiced by professional seiyuu.
Okay.
Not a single one of them. They're all girls who are from the same area that this show is set in.
Oh, and that's another. Speaking of the area, this is set in
Toho. Yeah, this is in Sendai. This is supposed to be in Sendai.
So we got YAMAKAN. He's incorporating the Tohoku earthquake. It's set in, as he explains it, Idol Sengoku Jidai. I mean, YAMAKAN is gonna save Idol anime.
I actually think he will. I have really high hopes for this project.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I have really high hopes for Fractal too. But I think YAMAKAN's still got it. I think he's, as much as we hate him, he's got some good ideas.
I'm looking forward to this.
I'm very much hype about this. Anyways, speaking of amateur seiyuu.
Right. So there's some fan rage and seiyuu rage over the use of non-trained seiyuu in voicing jobs. Usually it's just foreign movies, but Akira, what do you think about this trend of using amateur seiyuu? They got to be cheaper, right?
They are cheaper. They use amateur seiyuu because they're just called, in Japanese tarento, the generic personage in the entertainment industry. I guess you could use them for minor roles, I suppose, but don't give leading roles to one of these people. Shit, I mean...
You gotta protect the industry.
Well, I mean, look, if they're good, I don't see anything wrong with that, but the problem is a lot of these seiyuu are, not very good.
Right.
And then they just sound kind of fake, and, we all remember what the U.S. anime industry was like in the 90s.
Right. Speaking of another, one of the more famous times of a non-seiyuu voicing a role, Shinkai's first movie, Hoshino Koe, I think. There's a version of it where his girlfriend and him voice the two main characters instead of
that is the one that's
terrible.
The one that I know. Yeah.
It's terrible. Okay, so
yeah. By the way, hold on.
Jobs,
Last thing about non-trained seiyuu, Hideaki Anno is voicing the main character in the next Miyazaki movie. Let's just wrap our heads around that real quick. Nice. Moving on. So we revealed last week that CHUUNIBYOU is getting a second season. Dekomori is going to be in high school.
Okay. Hope she keeps
Dekomori's going to be in high school, which I don't know. I don't know if I want to see more of her. Oh.
Dekomori's great. What are you talking about?
I mean, I want to see more of her. Maybe if she keeps her new haircut, not if she goes back to the old haircut. I don't want to see that haircut.
You don't like the twin tails that are also weapons? What's
dude,
wrong, man?
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
I don't know. Again, I still don't know what they would do for the new CHUUNIBYOU. Maybe this is gonna be on Dekomori, which would kind of be interesting, actually.
I'd like Dekomori. Dekomori is pretty good. So
I think they said Dekomori and a new character is gonna be introduced, and they might be the main characters.
I mean, Dekomori is almost the breakout character in CHUUNIBYOU, like how she kind of had that emotional streak near the end of CHUUNIBYOU. I thought that was very poignant.
Nah,
or as poignant as KyoJin shows get.
Nah, son.
You sound like a hater, bro.
Son. Like Team Nibutani forever. Literally.
Okay, legit. Nibutani is pretty good. Yusin is about to pop a blood vessel. And finally, Pizza Hut is running a Shingeki no Kyojin ad campaign in shonen magazines. As an example here, I think this is from Shonen Jump Weekly.
That's pretty ignorant. Also, it's funny because the giants look like pizza. Like they kind of have that pizza shape.
And I don't know about you, but that doesn't make me want Pizza Hut. Also, dude, I have another question. If they're eating pizza and all they eat is pizza, why are humans at war with them?
Nah, it's more like you're the giant devouring the pizza, kind of like the giant.
And then there are a bunch of people trying to cut you and kill you.
Nah, but you're just eating that pizza. Like you're eating the pizza like they eat humans,
Uh huh.
Like this will become more obvious later on when we show another graphic later on in the segment that I'll point out. But I think this is kind of a weird tie-in. I feel like
Well,
Pizza Hut
Pizza
is a
Hut
lot of
always does this, with Code Geass
there's
and
that
stuff like
Code
that.
Geass shit. Now there's this Shingeki no Kyojin shit. They just take the most serious show like every 2 or 3 years and they're like, yo, let's just throw in a Pizza Hut
Dude,
like
Pizza Hut is
tie-in.
Pizza Hut is serious business.
This is almost as ridiculous as that fucking Gillette tie-in for Man of Steel that we're.
Oh, what
having
about
to
every
deal with.
single ad in Tiger and Bunny? That was good stuff.
I mean, that was fun though. That was
That
like
was
that
funny.
was
That's, like,
ironic.
ironic.
That was
Yeah,
ironic.
exactly.
This is not ironic. This is like an actual legitimate ad campaign. I don't know how I feel about that. Anyways,
All right, let's talk about some speech idiosyncrasies. What do you think of them? Your little speech ticks and
yo,
things
I
like that.
fucking hate speech ticks
Uh-oh.
in anime. Like I can barely stand the way that like high class Ojo-sama characters talk. I
Okay.
hate Kansai Ben
Okay.
for the most part.
Well, you don't like your
I
Deswas and your Yaharis.
No, dude. I hate Kansai Ben in real life.
Okay.
You know? So I hate it in my anime even more because it's so fucking overdone. And the reason why we're talking about this week is because Railgun is really getting to this point where the speech idiosyncrasies are just they make the show unwatchable
What,
almost.
you don't like Judgment Death Snow?
I mean, that's not an idiosyncrasy. That's just like what she
What
said.
about okay? I come on, you
But
can't.
like, okay, think about like what's her face?
Shinobu's English.
Yeah, like there's
Dude, that
that.
fucking,
there's-
that's just hilarious. It
No,
makes her memorable. That's why they do it. It makes people memorable.
No, 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 no. Also, yeah, I don't know what Usni's talking about. First of all, that bitch needs to chill. But honestly, like,
Watch out, he's gonna call you out with a post.
oh, boo, fucking who? Like I give a fuck. But honestly, like, I think that the reason why like Saten and Uiharu and Misaka are arguably easier characters to watch than Kuroko is because they don't have those speech tics. And actually, as someone who doesn't quite understand Japanese, I kind of want to hear your perspective on this issue.
Sure, sure. First of all, I'm just trying to gather myself here because I think I just heard you diss Kuroko. Second of all,
No, they're more listenable. I'm not saying Kuroko's worse. I actually happen to like Kuroko a lot.
Yeah, I think speech idiosyncrasies are less annoying and more accessible to people who don't understand Japanese because it's something that you could just hear and pick up in kind of the static noise of a language that you don't understand.
Yeah, but like for me, it's almost as annoying as say,
If
like,
someone just says "like" all the time in a sentence.
Okay, honestly, this is why I have a huge problem with Kinano as well, is because she literally, to me, she sounds like a Valley girl. Like,
I think that's the
and
gimmick, though, right?
it's the most. I mean, she is a Valley girl.
Right.
Like, she really is. But she like says like this kiddo like at the
Yeah.
end of every single fucking sentence,
I
and I'm
mean-
just like, oh my god, stop, stop, stop,
My
stop, stop.
first anime ever, as in like download torrent stuff like that, was Rosen Maiden, and Soisei Seki's Desu was my first ever speech
Oh,
idiosyncrasy.
can we talk about fucking what's it called? That fucking shitty show that Gainax made 2 years ago. Oh,
Madagabox?
Italian,
Oh.
Italian no Shoka.
Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it. Does anyone remember that fucking show? Because that was awful.
Yeah. Okay.
That
Okay.
was-
I mean, so I think some of them can be memorable, and some of
Yes,
them.
yes, this is unacceptable. Like, there's no universe in which yes, this is
You're
unacceptable.
Degesso. Come on, Degesso. Like we all love our Squid Girl, right?
No, but like, no, I hate. That's why I couldn't watch past episode 1 of Ikamusume. Honestly,
no.
I
Oh, no.
I just couldn't.
And finally,
couldn't do it.
I crack up at Shinobu's English. I don't care. I mean, haters gonna hate, but however, it's just fucking
However,
hilarious.
no,
to me.
dude, no, stop. Moving on.
So, Akira, do you think that there are too many Patanko in Henneko?
Yeah, at the point where every single fucking character in that show is Petanko, there's a problem.
Well, there's no problem with that. I mean, just imagine that you're watching a lolly show. I mean, it's not my fault. They just know what sells.
But like, I don't wanna, like.
No. They always give you the recourse. You can get Tsukiko's older sister. I think she has.
But she's like flat in a completely different way. She's just like, I don't know. Oh, who benefits?
me.
Like,
See,
I mean, I don't know. Like, here's the thing with Henneko, right? Like,
right.
no one is watching Henneko for the plot. We can assume.
Okay.
So people are watching Henneko for the characters.
I find it
right?
extremely weird that they're squeezing some kind of supernatural, weird ass plot in there. Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah, so I mean, the only reason why anyone was watching that show is because Kantoku did the character designs,
Yeah,
right?
I'm not gonna lie, that's exactly why I'm watching it.
And Kantoku is like very much good at doing like very eroi looking
Yep,
girls.
yep,
Like he's all about the eroi girls.
hell yeah.
But he's also all about the petanko, which is really a shame, right? Because the only reason I'm watching that show is to see his characters move around,
Right.
preferably in plaid.
Okay.
Uh, but I don't know. It's just I like at some point you need to give me another option, right? Like like the reason why harem shows are successful is because they give people lots of options,
But then,
right?
but here's the thing, though. But then, people either with Haneko is, I don't really have anyone to dislike in Haneko. I like all of them. I like
No,
Akari
I don't
Asasa,
like I don't like Kakashi.
She's amazing. I think
I don't
she's
like
so flat.
no, but I don't like her. I don't like Azuki Azusa.
Asuki Asasa's great. She's so flat.
Ugh, don't say that. You sound really creepy.
And then New Girl in Pink. Okay, legit. She's kind of annoying, but she's hot because she's flat. You know.
No. See, this is fine and good from like your personal perspective, but
Right.
this is like not a winning formula from a commercial perspective. You know what I'm saying right now?
Okay.
Like, there's a huge problem with having all these petanko running around. Is that
But
people
then can you
aren't
flip it
into
to the
petanko,
opposite?
like-
Is there a huge problem if there's an anime where everyone has huge boobs?
but you can't find a successful anime like that.
Horizon.
Like, there's not a single anime which is successful in the
Horizon
history
in the
of
middle
anime.
of nowhere.
But nobody saw that.
Sacred blacksmith.
Nobody saw that either. You see what I'm saying? Like, no, you got to have a mix. The industry is all about mixing these days. You can't just put all your eggs in one basket and hope for the best. It doesn't work that way. And I genuinely think this is a huge problem with Hineko and why it hasn't received wider recognition.
Okay.
Like, to be serious for a second here, it hasn't received wider recognition mainly because like people who aren't into Petanko have nothing. There's nothing going for it. There's certainly no plot.
Yeah.
There's certainly nothing else other than that. I mean, there's plaid, but like I don't know. How do you go into plaid other than me? If you're in a
Plaid
plaid,
is amazing. Fucking like
if you're
no.
really into plaid, like let me know. We can definitely connect on that.
Yeah,
Especially if you're female, you should
Tartan is
definitely.
the bomb. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Anyways.
and I don't like ever using this argument, but in this situation, you just got to blame the source material. Then, I mean, Kantoku didn't make and write the manga. So
No, he totally did. He designed all the characters.
he designed the characters. He didn't write anything. So
I mean, but it doesn't work that way.
no. The plot is that Kakashi has no boobs.
True.
And also, for some reason, right now, the
Why
stream
Azuki
is
Asusa,
lagging.
right? Like, why can't Azuki Asusa have any I don't know. I don't know. Fuck it. Moving on.
All right. Let's go into Omake. So I'll put a minute on the clock, and we might as well get started with this. So there's some shoujo magazine out there that sponsored a manga contest for elementary school kids, and they're actually really good. Yeah.
And one of them is named Hoshitora Ame, one of the winners, and she's definitely gonna be a porn star.
Oh, so
Huge
mean.
problem.
Saying that about a
I'm
little
looking
kid.
forward to seeing her in like 15, 16 years when that's finally appropriate. Anyways, the AKB48 election was watched by 32.7% of Japan. That is a huge problem. You definitely, people of Japan, go do something with your lives. That's really, really
There's a
bad.
new game for the Nintendo DS where you get to learn English with Hanakana. I'm down with that. I know how to speak English. I'll fucking learn it again.
Oh, you know what's the best part? It's that it says, go back. It says most popular female seiyuu #1, Hanazawa Kana. That is a huge statement.
It's a
Anyways,
little
moving on.
village.
Anyways, Shingeki no Kyojin Gashapon. Remember when I said the whole Pizza Hut thing?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you should look like when you're eating a pizza. That's what you should look like. Just like that
delicious.
guy's right now. Yeah,
looks delicious.
that's
Collect
that's
them
really
all.
ignorant. That's fucking ignorant. Anyways, you've just wasted another perfectly good half hour listening to two Asian men talk about Chinese cartoons.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Sorry about the lag near the end of the show.
Yep, we'll see you later. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.